Hello YouTube, today's short video on wisp mothers, as requested by Bruno Adler. Wisp mothers are a fascinating subject that I've always kind of wanted to cover but never really came around to actually doing it, so with that said, let's just start with this video. There are subjects that cause heavy debate among even the most renowned scientists, subjects that nobody really understands, and the smartest minds of our world cannot come up with a consensus as to how to explain these subjects. In the Elder Scrolls universe, one of these subjects is wisp mothers. Nobody really seems to truly understand these creatures, and many scholars over the years have debated their origin, function, and whether they even exist, because no scholar has ever seen a wisp mother or survived seeing one, as it's one of the most dangerous creatures, and only the most hardened warriors and mages can hope to even survive an ordeal with one of these creatures. Scholars trying to research the wisp mothers usually have to use second-hand accounts by warriors and travelers, and this has made the knowledge on wisp mothers one of the most fascinating debates on Tamriel. One of the few things that mostly everyone agrees on is that wisp mothers are strange, almost spectral-like women, clothed in mist and some connection to being undead. And they use wisps to lure travelers to them and then kill them, to steal their energy. But other than that basic description, the knowledge on them is very disputed. The theories about the origin of wisp mothers are all very different and can be separated into two categories. First, there are the folktales and legends, and second, there are the theories by academics. Let's start with the folktales. A lot of people tend to believe that the wisp mothers are just powerful ghosts that couldn't find rest. These people also tend to believe that the wisps the wisp mothers control are the spirits of the previous victims who had become enslaved to the wisp mother that she killed. Others believe that the wisp mothers are remains of powerful snow elf witches who were killed during the war with Ysgramor and his Nord armies and found a way to persist. This theory of them being snow elves would seem very cool and interesting at first, and even has some merit to it, judging by Skyrim, as when we compare, for example, the looks of Galabor and Verther, the two snow elves still in their uncorrupted state, we find a striking resemblance with the outward appearance of the wisp mothers, without the whole cloaks and mist. In addition to that, the special named wisp mother, the Pale Lady we can find in Skyrim, has been named in lore as a mysterious figure named Amriel, an elven name, and has been described as fighting Ysgramor's heirs for decades as a wisp mother. So there is some significant merit to this theory of them being the remains of snow elves. However, since Elder Scrolls Online and Elder Scrolls Blades, they have shown that wisp mothers exist in other places around Tamriel than Skyrim. This argument then gets a bit weaker, as snow elves never really ventured all too far away from Skyrim as far as we know. However, it might be possible that some wisp mothers are the remains of snow elves, as Sadran Seretti, an expert on Aelid culture and First Era history, argues that wisp mothers are probably the result of a special type of lichdom that was discovered in the First Era by some witch tribe. He theorizes that most wisp mothers came from a powerful clan of witches who discovered this way of lichdom to attain eternal life through being undead. So it's possible that this clan might have had some snow elf members, which would explain the story of Amriel and would explain why wisp mothers exist all over Tamriel. Soretti also argues that the accompanying wisps are probably powerful conjurations by the wisp mothers, and that they are under her full control and that they cannot live without her sustaining them. This theory is the theory that I probably personally believe, as this would link up with the folktales that we know about them, and also this clan would have discovered this type of lichdom back in the First Era when there were still snow elves, and they might have had lots of snow elf members, which would explain the folktales and, for example, explain the Pale Lady. Alternatively, Synod researchers think that the wisp mothers are not a type of undead. Rather, they argue that there are elemental manifestations rising out of Nirn itself, a bit like Spriggans and ice raids. Lindet Verlaine of the Synod argues that they are essentially the elemental personification of snow and mist, wielding those elements naturally instead of being an undead who manipulates it through sorcery. She also argues that the wisps accompanying the wisp mother are almost literally her children, making her truly a wisp mother. She says that these are probably subspecies that lure the victims to her and then share in the energy that the wisp mother steals from her victims. So these are basically the major visions on wisps and wisp mothers. Which exactly is true, we don't know. Maybe neither is true, as we don't learn much about the mysterious wisp mothers. And there isn't really much lore to them. It just seems like Bethesda just kind of created them as enemies and then was like, yeah, let's write a couple of things on them, but not more. because this was literally all the lore I could find on them. And that said, I hope you still enjoyed this video. If you did, consider sticking around for the next one next Thursday and clicking the bell icon so you know when it gets dropped. In addition to that, allow me to thank my top patrons, Bernardo Binda, Hayden Barnes, Gabriel Binda and Sam Campling. They, along with all the other people on screen right now, are my patrons, and they are the people that make these videos possible. That said, I will see you next Thursday in another lore video. Bye bye.